Imagine waking up one morning, opening your investment app, and seeing a portfolio worth over $1 million. No lottery ticket, no viral business, no inheritance, just a simple investing habit that quietly worked in the background while you lived your life. That might sound impossible to most Americans struggling with inflation, rising debt, and paycheck-to-paycheck living. But the truth is that millions of wealthy people in America became rich using one incredibly boring strategy: consistent investing over time. Warren Buffett once said that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient, and that is exactly why SIP investing is becoming one of the smartest wealth-building strategies in the United States today. The crazy part is that you don't need to be a Wall Street expert, earn six figures, or spend all day studying charts. You just need time, consistency, and the discipline to let compounding do the heavy lifting. Most people hear the term SIP and think it's only popular in countries like India, but in America, the exact same strategy already exists under different names. Americans call it automatic investing, dollar cost averaging, or recurring investments. Every time someone automatically invests money into an S&P 500 ETF through their 401k, Roth IRA, or brokerage account, they are basically using the SIP strategy. And the reason this strategy works so well is because it removes emotion from investing. Most beginners lose money because they panic during crashes, chase hype during bull markets, or constantly try to time the market. SIP investing eliminates that problem completely because you invest the same amount every month no matter what the market is doing. When prices fall, your money buys more shares. When prices rise, your investments grow in value. Over time, the average cost balances out, and historically, the US stock market has always rewarded long-term investors. Let's make this real with a simple example. Imagine a 22-year-old college graduate in America starts investing just $500 every month into an S&P 500 index fund, like VOO or SPY. That money automatically gets invested every single month without interruption. Now here's where things become shocking. Assuming an average annual return of around 10%, which is close to the historical long-term average of the S&P 500 before inflation, that person could potentially end up with over $1 million by retirement age. Not because they invested huge amounts of money overnight, but because compound growth turns small monthly investments into massive wealth over decades. This is exactly how ordinary workers quietly become millionaires in America, while most people stay trapped chasing quick money online. The biggest secret behind SIP investing is that time matters more than the amount you invest. Most people think they need thousands of dollars to start investing, but the real advantage comes from starting early. A person who starts investing at 20 often ends up richer than someone who starts at 35, even if the second person invests more money every month. That's because compounding behaves like a snowball rolling downhill. In the beginning, progress feels slow and almost invisible. Your portfolio might grow only a few $100s in the first year, then a few thousand. But eventually, the growth becomes explosive because your returns start generating their own returns. This is why Albert Einstein supposedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. One of the reasons SIP investing is exploding in popularity across America right now is because younger generations are realizing that traditional financial security is disappearing. Pensions are rare. Social security uncertainty is growing. Inflation is destroying purchasing power. And many Americans no longer trust the idea that simply working harder will make them wealthy. That's why automatic investing through apps like Robinhood, Fidelity, Vanguard, and Charles Schwab has become so common among Gen Z and millennials. People want systems that build wealth automatically without requiring them to become financial experts. Another powerful advantage of SIP investing is that it protects you from emotional decision-making during market crashes. Most people panic when the stock market drops. Headlines scream about recessions, economic collapse, and financial disasters. Investors start selling out of fear. But experienced investors understand something important. Market crashes are actually opportunities. When your monthly investment continues during a downturn, you buy stocks at lower prices. That means when the market eventually recovers, those cheaper shares can generate enormous gains. History has shown this repeatedly during events like the 2008 financial crisis, the COVID-19 crash in 2020, and countless other corrections. The investors who stayed consistent became wealthier, while emotional investors locked in losses. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake Americans make with investing. They wait. They spend years saying things like, "I'll start when I make more money," or "I'll invest after I pay off everything." Meanwhile, time keeps moving. The IRS gives Americans powerful wealth-building accounts like the Roth IRA and 401k specifically to encourage long-term investing. Yet millions of people never fully use them. A Roth IRA, for example, allows your investments to grow tax-free, which can dramatically increase your wealth over decades. Imagine becoming a millionaire and legally paying zero taxes on qualified withdrawals during retirement. That's one of the biggest advantages of long-term investing in America. Yet many young people ignore it completely because nobody taught them financial literacy in school. SIP investing also works because it turns wealth building into a habit instead of a decision. Human psychology is powerful. If you manually decide every month whether to invest, emotions eventually interfere. Maybe you feel scared. Maybe you want to spend money on something else. Maybe the market feels rich. There's also a dangerous myth online that investing is only for rich people. Social media often glorifies luxury lifestyles, crypto millionaires, and overnight success stories, making ordinary investing seem boring. But boring is exactly what creates real wealth. Most millionaires in America are not flashy entrepreneurs driving Lamborghinis. Many are regular workers who consistently invested in index funds for decades. Teachers, engineers, office workers, nurses, and even average middle-class families have quietly built millionaire portfolios simply by staying invested long enough. The media rarely talks about them because slow wealth building is not exciting, but it works. And here's something most people don't realize. SIP investing can actually reduce financial stress over time. When you know your money is consistently growing in the background, you stop feeling completely dependent on your paycheck. Your investments become a second engine of wealth. Eventually, dividends, market growth, and compounding begin working harder than you do. That's when financial freedom starts becoming real. Not because you stopped working overnight,